Shalom, shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the prophets for pushing this truth in 100% sincerity, which is really important in today's time because, you have these other camps talking about how Yahweh Shai is not meant to be worshipped and, the sea, not pushing the sea hip, saying that the white woman is the mark of the beast and all this foolishness. So it's very important that truth is being pushed in today's time, and shalom to the sisters and brothers that may be tuning in. So today I'm going to be talking about how Christmas is not biblical. Christmas is not to be celebrated by, the Hebrew Israelites, and it's not even Yahushai's birthday. I have it on my other phone here because for some reason my other phone, it's not saving the videos when I do it, so I have to do it on another phone as I read off of here. I have ChatGPT. Search up some things on here. I'm going to hopefully edify you guys on today. So, Yahushua never celebrated his birthday, nor did the apostles. Early believers kept the Passover, not birth celebrations, and Hanukkah is when we would actually give, presents and do gift giving and things along those lines. It wasn't, Christmas wasn't a thing, right? In the Bible, you see some people celebrating the birthday, but it's the Pharaoh in Genesis 40 and 20, and Herod and Herod's daughter in Matthew 14 and 6 when she requested John the Baptist's head, right? You don't see the prophets or apostles or anyone celebrating their birthdays in the scriptures, right? Now, December 25th, why do people even celebrate supposedly Yahushua's birthday on that day, which it's not, right? December 25th comes from sun worship, not Yahushua. It comes from a Roman holiday called Saturnalia, right? And I'm not sure if I'm saying this correctly, but Sol Invictus, which means birth of the unconquered sun. So celebrating the sun god, right? Saturn, right? And the Catholic Church later rebranded this pagan festival to convert heathens because they wanted more believers, right? And, of course, heathens, if they still get to celebrate their so-called holidays the same way, they're going to keep on doing that, right? So when you dive into this, I have this on Google here. Saturnalia is held in mid-December, is an ancient Roman pagan festival honoring the agricultural god Saturn because of when the holiday occurred near the winter solstice, right? Saturnalia celebrations are the source of many of the traditions we now associate with Christmas, such as wreaths, candles, feasting, and gift giving, right? So all of what is done on Christmas today. What is Saturnalia? Saturnalia, the most popular holiday on the ancient Roman calendar, derived from older farming-related rituals of midwinter and the winter solstice, especially the practice of offering gifts or sacrifices to the gods during the winter sowing season. The pagan celebration of Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture and time, began as a single day, but by the late Republic, it had an expanded to week-long festival beginning December 17th on the Julian calendar, which Romans used at the time. The winter solstice fell on December 25th, right? Now, how the Romans celebrated Saturnalia. During Saturnalia, work and business came to a halt, just like Christmas. Everyone takes vacation, everyone stops working, places close. Nothing is going on but celebration, right? Schools and courts of law closed and the normal social patterns were suspended. People decorated their homes with wreaths and other greenery and shed their traditional togas in favor of colorful clothes, now known as synthesis, right? And what do people wear on Christmas? Everyone wears green and red and puts on on those specific colors and hangs up greenery, right? And gets the Christmas trees. Even enslaved people did not have to work during Saturnalia, but were allowed to participate in festivities. In some cases, they sat at the head of the table with their masters served them. Instead of working, Romans spent Saturnalia gambling, singing, playing music, feasting, socializing, and giving each other gifts. Wax taper candles called ceri were common gifts during Saturnalia, significantly to signify light returning after the solstice. Right, so, and on the last day of Saturnalia, celebrations known as Sigilleria, many Romans gave their friends and loved ones small terracotta figures known as Sigilleria, which may refer back to older celebrations involving human sacrifice. And what is the last day of Saturnalia? That was December 25th, right? Saturnalia was by far the jolliest, quote-unquote, Roman holiday. The Roman poet Catullus, I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, famously described it as the best of times. So that's exactly how people celebrate, describe Christmas. Christmas is the best time. We need a Christmas spirit, quote unquote, right? So all this foolishness. The festivities that the Romans author Pliny reported built a soundproof room so that he could work during Rakia celebrations, right? So that's just a quick thing on Saturnalia here, right? And this also dives into, Nimrod and Semiramis and the pagan origin story, because in let's see, in Genesis 10 and 8, I believe it is, 8 to 10, Nimrod founded Babel, in Assyria, the first one world religion political system. After Nimrod's death, according to, this is what James talks about, Semiramis is his wife and mother, which all off the bat is just mixed up. Nimrod became the sun god, supposedly, right? She gave birth to Tammuz, said to be Nimrod reincarnated. This became the mother-child worship system, right? The same pattern later appears as Isis and Horus in Egypt, Venus and Cupid in Rome, Mary and baby Jesus in the Catholic distortion. So and these paganistic ways keep on repeating themselves. There's nothing new under the sun, right? And the imagery, the tree, gifts, lights, comes from the ancient sun-child worship, not scripture, of course, right? And when you dive into Nimrod, I have here on Google just an AI overview. The connection between Nimrod and Christmas stems from certain religious interpretations, particularly from groups like Worldwide, whatever not these groups are. Christmas customs, especially the Christmas tree, originated from ancient Babylonian paganism centered on Nimrod and his wife/mother Semiramis. This theory suggests Nimrod, and see how they kind of say theory and whatever not, like it's not, true. A mighty hunter and a builder of Babel was defied after death, with his birthday celebrated on December 25th. So Semiramis tried to align his birthday on December 25th with the sun god so that he could be celebrated. And, people just take on, people that are already celebrating these paganistic ways, like, they don't care, right? And the spirit represented by evergreen trees, which, what do you see today? Christmas trees everywhere, everyone's home. They love Christmas trees and the so-called Christmas spirit, right? Link it to the traditions like Yule logs and gift giving on trees as symbols of his rebirth. Like, man, yeah. Says down here, Nimrod's role, a powerful God-defying king after Noah, linked to the Tower of Babel. Semiramis and Tammuz. After Nimrod's death, his wife Semiramis allegedly claimed he became the sun god, right? And she was impregnated by the sunbeam to bear their son Tammuz, who was also a sun god. So a whole bunch of foolishness, but it's just like the so-called Immaculate Conception between Mary and baby Jesus in the Catholic teaching, which is, again, pure foolishness. She was not impregnated by an angel. It was through David, Yahushai's father. All right. The evergreen tree, Semiramis supposedly said a full evergreen tree grew from a dead stump overnight, so a miracle happened, symbolizing Nimrod's new life, with gifts left on December 25th, the winter solstice. Pagan origins, this narrative posits that these pagan Babylonian practices, sun worship, trees, December 25th, were later adopted and Christianized by Roman Empire and becoming Christmas traditions, right? So just a whole bunch of foolishness that's going on here, and just all paganistic ways. So all these things that people want to celebrate are all paganistic ways. And, Yahushua was not born in the winter, first and foremost. Because whenever you tell people you don't celebrate Christmas, they're like, oh, wait, but didn't you say that you study the Bible? Like, it's not, has nothing to do with the Bible, right? In Luke 2, and I'll start at 4. This highlights that this has a very important point here. This alone should tell you that he wasn't born in the winter, but it says, and Joseph also went up from Galilee onto the city of Nazareth, into Judea, onto the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being with great child. So Mary was pregnant. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. So she was ready to bear her child, ready to give birth. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn, and that was Yahushai. And there was in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by the night. And shepherds are only out during spring, summertime, right? December is cold and rainy. Sheep are not kept in open fields at night. Shepherds do this in the spring/early fall, not in the winter. Very, very, common sense. And lo, the angel of Yahweh came upon them, and the glory of Yahweh shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you this day born this day is the city of David a Savior, which is Yahushai our power. Right, so Yahushua was not born during winter, and that is very simple. Lord willing, might dive into the topic and do a deeper breakdown on John the Baptist's birth timing and how that proves that Yahushua was born in the spring. But Lord willing, that might be another video that I do. But Yahushua attended, the Feast of Tabernacles, not his own birthday. On ChatGPT, it says here that's John 7:2 all the way to 32 or 37. And hey man, just diving into the straight fact that these are not ways that we should be learning, right? Because you have these so-called Christians nowadays that are like, oh well, I know that already, but that's not, I don't celebrate it for that reason, which is, that doesn't even make sense. You're following heathenistic ways, but in saying you're not celebrating these heathenistic ways, you're still following. It's like doing a ritual, sacrificing someone and saying, well, I didn't mean it like that. It doesn't make any sense. But Jeremiah 10:2, thus said Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? Learn not the ways of the heathen, that alone. You're not supposed to learn the ways of the heathen. So the Christmas trees, decorations, heathen customs adopted into the worship, right? You should not be doing those. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands and of the workman, and with the axe. They deck it with silver, and with gold they fasten it with nails, with hammers, that it move not. So it's vain. It doesn't make any sense that they're doing it. There's no reason to be doing any of that. It has no holy meaning behind it, right? It's all paganistic ways and vanity. The only reason a lot of kids and people like Christmas is because they receive gifts, right? And that's when people are generally nicer, talking about the Christmas spirit. All they're doing is channeling demons and worshiping so-called sun god, right? Deuteronomy 12:30, take heed to thyself that thou be not snared by following them after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise, right? So you're not supposed to do exactly that. You're not supposed to follow after these pagan gods. Thou shalt not do so unto Yahweh thy power, for every abomination to Yahweh which he hateth have thy done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burned in the fire of their gods. Right, so what thing soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add thereunto, nor diminish from it. Right, and then real quick, Colossians 2:8 says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, which is exactly what they do after the tradition of men. Right, and Christmas is the tradition of men, not of Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushai. So very simple, straight to the point. Hopefully you guys found this edifying. And on that note, I want to say, Yahweh, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone and the prophets for pushing this truth in 100% sincerity, and shalom to the few sisters and brothers that may be tuning in.